Alright. What's up, everybody? Hopefully we've got that sorted out. I've just got to make sure we are actually live everywhere. Alright, looks good, looks good. Okay, looks like we're live. Yay. Test message. All right. All right, guys. What's up? Rough start, but here we are. Cool. All right. Hello. Hope everybody is doing well. Let's see. We left off with rigging this guy, or we left off finishing up the textures, and now we need to rig him. Hey, welcome MSim Cook. What's up? Does everything look good with the stream? Volume good? No duplicated audio or anything like that. I noticed I had some troubles with that last time. But yeah, we are going to be rigging this guy. So we've got our textured model and our 3 variations. And so yeah, so today is all about rigging. And it's been a little while since I've done this. We'll be building it from scratch, so should be interesting. We'll see if it comes back to me. Alright, so I guess first things first. We want to start with a clean file, so I'm just gonna copy this guy and make a new file and paste it. There we go. Okay, nice, nice. And okay, that brought our materials and everything, so we're good. Name this geometry. And then now, so we kind of started some of this. I think I'll just delete everything but our joints. Delete all our history. Yeah, alright. Unparent that. Alright, so now we've got just our joints and our mesh. Turn on X-ray joint. I want this layer. And yeah, okay. So it looks like we've already got maybe some history on that or something, but no big deal. We'll delete that, delete that. We're just reusing these to save a tiny little bit of time. Alright, so first of all, what we need to do is we need to decide on our axis orientation. And so, yeah, so a big annoyance is Unreal is Z up by default and Maya is Y up by default. The Unreal rigging tools switch Maya to be Z up, which is fine, but a lot of my rigs that I started in Unity are all Y up because Unity's Y up. I think I'll probably do this guy Y up. You know, we can always offset them later if need be. But yeah, just to keep it as simple as possible, I'm gonna stick with Y up. Okay, another handy thing is turn off, so up here in the top we've got our like type select filters, and so this is meshes. Turn that off so I can't accidentally select the mesh. So now all I can select are the bones. Alright, so if we're gonna do Y up, we need to decide on our forward axis. So this is Y up and Z forward. And that's probably, so I'd say that's sensible. So let's do that. Okay, so Y up and Z forward. So go ahead and delete that because we're gonna mirror it later. So what we want to do is we want to orient this such that the forward axis is pointing directly to the next joint in the chain. Why do some choose Z up instead of Y? Imsim Cook asks. It's just different conventions. There's not really any difference. It's just, you know, Unreal and Unity were made at different times. They just chose Z. It can go either way. So, want to have probably 2 joints in here for this jaw. And a good rule of thumb is to have these joints kind of be like in line with each other. So like only move them on one axis if possible. So let's get that matched up. Looks decent. Not too bad. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. I've got a rigs folder. So this will be grub.ma. Alright. So that's one jaw. We can go ahead and start naming these things. So these joints, so we're going to have multiple skeletons because we need IK and FK. Well, not for the jaws. The jaws will just be FK. But the legs and the arms probably we don't even need IK controls for because he's not, let's be honest, he's not doing anything with these little arms. They're just going to kind of dangle there. But the legs we might be able to use FK and IK. I'm thinking, you know, especially an animation where they like flip over onto their back and like kick their legs or something. We'll want FK for that, and then the rest of the time we'll want IK. And I probably would be ideal to give him a foot roll too, but that's complicated. Doing foot rolls is really like, that could be a whole series of streams, to be honest, so I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. We can always add it later, right? The goal here, we just got to get this demo kind of like rough draft, just moving. We can always iterate on our rig later, so let's just do it as simple as we can. So for now, right, so this is going to be, so let's see, the naming convention I usually use is like L, so for the side, jaw, A. I don't use numbers because if you have something that ends in a 1 and you duplicate it, it'll change it to like 1, 2 or something like that, and that's just confusing, so I use letters. So L, jaw, A, bind, oh yeah, and then JNT for joint. That's somewhat, you know, arbitrary. It's just the way that I've learned from old Anon DVDs and the way that I've been doing it. So this is L jaw underscore B bind JNT, and this is L jaw underscore C bind JNT. You guessed it. Okay, now we can go to our skeleton mirror joints, and I want, yeah, YZ plane. So it's talking about the plane you mirror across. This throws a lot of people off. So basically to mirror it in the x-axis, it's YZ, right? Mirror function, we want behavior. And it will automatically replace our names, which is nice. So we can search for L, replace with R. And, uh-oh, too many arguments. Expected 1, found 0. What do you mean? Okay, I guess it didn't like me having all of them selected, it just wanted the root bone selected. So there we go, now we've got these two. And you'll notice, I can test this out real quick. If I select them all and move them on the same axis, we get this opposite movement. So when we mirrored them and we chose behavior as the option, that's what that does for us. And this is gonna give us the opportunity to make some kind of interesting jaw movement. Sounds weird, but yeah, that's the hand we've been dealt, and that's what we're doing. Okay, this one is the top, so that would be C underscore jaw A bind JNT. C for center. All right, and now we gotta just do the same thing. So we've chosen Z forward for our rig, so let's stick to that. So parent, move it on one axis, forward on Z. And let's do it again, and same thing. Now to line it up, rotate our jaw down. You know what, I actually want to move this back a little bit. And there we go. These joints will technically probably not even have any influence. You kind of just put them there just like for your own brain. But yeah, that's the idea. All right. You know what? I think I want this to move up a little bit. Oh yeah, and so yeah, here's a top tip when you're rigging and placing joints. We've got this, parent-child hierarchy going on. So if right now I see this and I'm like, ooh, this is too low, I need to move it up. Your instinct is going to be to just move it, and that's going to bring all its children along for the ride, right? So you might be like, oh, okay, well, I'll just move this up, then I'll grab this and move it back down. And you could do that, but the better thing to do is to press, I think it's by default, it's insert on your keyboard. It's the edit pivot tool button. You press that, and then you can move it without affecting the children. There, just like that. So you can kind of fine-tune your placement. And let's check our rotations. And they're going pretty much the way we want. Let's make sure it's the same with the others. So what I want to avoid is having these be like flipped so that these open one way and then the other goes the wrong way. I want them all to go together. And yep, see, we've got a mistake here. Oh wait, hang on. Actually, I did something wrong here. What's going on here? Object. These worked perfect a minute ago, you saw it. Why are these not looking right? Oh. It is right. I might have been moving them on the wrong axis. That's probably it. So y-axis will be our axis of rotation because we chose Z as our forward, right? So yeah, so there's our problem. So these guys open up properly, and then the top jaw goes crazy off to the side. That is because, see these little, I don't know if you can see that on stream, But do you see these little blue, yellow, or blue, green, and red axes? See how the green, so the green is Y. So basically the way the green is pointing, our joint is going to pivot around it. And so can you tell how on here, and we can also switch this to object and it's the same thing, right? So see the green arrow is pointing that way. That means it'll pivot that way, right? And now on these, the green arrow is pointing up. See, that's our problem. That means it's going to pivot that way. This would work fine if we moved it along around the red, but a good rigger is always trying to make things consistent to make his animators' lives easier. So we need to rotate these. And I believe we can do that. See, I know I have a script that does this, but I think we can also just do it like this. So I'm just switching to the edit pivot mode. Ah, okay, that doesn't work. So that's what I need that script for. All right, bear with me. I've got to break out a script I haven't used in a long time. For any of my students watching, you're gonna become familiar with all of this. So I'm just digging through my hard drive, looking for my script. Here it is. It's called Jam Orient. This is just one of those Maya things. So let's see. So the way this works, the way you install plugins for Maya, is you go to your Maya install folder. We're on 2022. We are stuck on 2022, possibly for the rest of time, because we need it for the Unreal rigging tools, which have not been updated for Python 3, and Maya 22 is the last version of Maya that supports Python 3. So I think we're probably stuck here, at least until Epic updates their rigging tools, but that's probably not going to happen because the guy that made them works at Riot now. So we're stuck on 2022. All right, so scripts, jam orient joint. I think we do it like that. Let's check the README. Oh, this is so fun. Reading READMEs. So, yeah. Copy it to your scripts directory. Knew that. In the shelf editor, write the following code. That's just a little bit of mel. And we don't need to put it in the shelf. We can put it in here and make sure we're on mel. Maybe I do need to put it in the shelf. Try it this way and run. Error? Maybe it is Python. Hang on. That looks like Python. There we go. And here's Jam Orient Joint Tool. Very nice. All right. Dust off the old script. That's right. And this is an old script, let me tell you. The script was old when I found it. All right, so make sure we're on object. Okay, so our y-axis axes are all pointing up, and we don't want that. We do want our z's are facing forward. That is what we want. But we don't want the y, but we want our plane of rotation to be y, right? So we could rotate it either 90 degrees that way or 90 degrees that way. I think just for my brain, I think that having the x pointing up makes the most sense, so I think I'll do it that way. All right, let me remember how this works. So the idea with this script is it just offsets the transform of your selected joint. Tweak all minus. Aim axis. Okay, hang on. Aim axis is Z, up axis is either Y or X. Right, that's right. This is good too. So this makes it aim to its child. It's all coming back to me. Okay, yeah, we want up axis to be X. Orient, there we go. Now you see our Y. Now our Y is flipped over onto its side. So now when I rotate this around its Y axis, it goes the way I want. Oh, that makes me so glad. Okay, now this. Okay, so it already did that. And see the tip joint, it did that one too. So it did them automatically. Now let's take a look at these. Oh, it did them all. Nice. Okay, so they're all facing directly to the next joint, and these are doing the same thing but backwards. Yay. All right, let's minimize that. So now, if we select all of these joints, there we go. See, that's what we want. One handle of rotation, and they all move predictably in the exact same way. That's what we want. Okay. That's it for the bind on the jaws. So now we've got this joint. So yeah, now we need to start working on the spine. And so this will be pretty much the end of the spine. Let's see. There's going to be a little bit of rearranging these for sure. So I just duplicated that. It brought the children with it. I didn't want them, so I deleted them. All right. So let's think. So we need our spine. We also need legs, and we need hips. So how do I want to do this? Probably we'll have like a hip joint here. And then we'll need, or like not hip, but like, I guess like that's the base of the spine joint, right? And then these are hips. There'll be two of them, one on each side. The positioning is pretty important for getting good deformations. We want it to be kind of in the middle. So let's go with that. So that's the hip. And then you see how it draws based on its hierarchy, so gotta make sure that's right. So this guy is a little weird. He's got, this is going to be kind of a lot of, how do I want to do this? Because I don't necessarily want to have like a ton of joints in the leg, but he does have this weird like, you know, dog leg, like reverse knee thing. Ignore the fact that these are all named spine. I'm gonna rename them later. For visuals, we may want to dial the radius of these back. That doesn't do anything other than affect the way it's displayed. I think I'll just give him just one. I'll just skin the foot as just one joint for now. We could change that later. Do I want a separate joint here? I don't know if I do. Because that would be, this would be simpler to animate. See here, this just gives us one ordinary IK chain. Yeah, I think I'll do it like this. I think that'll work. That ought to work just fine. Alright, so now we need to orient our joints. Same way. There we go. So now each joint points to the next. Yeah. We've got Z forward, and our plane of rotation is Y. That's how we want it. Any questions so far? Is all this making sense? Is this interesting? Are you all bored out of your mind? I know this is kind of rough. But imagine how I feel doing this all the time. Imagine how the professional riggers of the world feel. This is all they do. You know? I mean, that's... Ooh. Now the exciting part of renaming these bones. Actually, that's more informative. And then I'll call this foot, and we might change it to have like toes later, something like that. Imsim Cook, I've been trying to dig more into rigging, and even though it's a different program, the sensibilities are the same. Yeah. Yeah, it's all pretty much the same wherever you go. It's always tedious, and there's always people advertising auto rig, one-click rig, you know, and sometimes that's cool, sometimes that's all you need, but I've always liked... I always need to know, like, what the complicated way to do it is before I use stuff like that. Alright, now this is where it gets interesting. So we've got our spine. This is like our base of the spine. That's like our spine A, and then this, I guess this will be like our spine B. This is quite an unusual anatomy, right? So I think this will be parented there, so it's a sibling to the leg joints. And then this will be parented to A. Okay. Our rotations don't match now, so I want to fix that. keeping that consistency throughout. I didn't want that, so it changed everything. I was afraid of that. There's got to be a way to use that script so it doesn't change all of them. Hang on. Orient joints. Yeah, I just need to use this manual tweak. Okay, so I think this is X, Y, Z. Yeah, I think that might be. There we go. There we go. Now we're all lined up. Perfect. Oh, this is what I need to operate on selected, not hierarchy. There we go. That's what I need. So now, orient joints. Boom. Perfect. And those are left alone. Nice. That's what we need. All right. Selected. Aim axis X, up axis Y. This one. There we go. Z up. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Okay, now we're nice and consistent. And now we get to use our mirror joints again. And we're going to change our left prefix to right. Oh, made the same mistake. Just select the root, not the whole hierarchy. Mirror. And since we chose mirror behavior... Yeah, nice. That's what we want. Good. Drink of water real quick. Fun stuff. And this is the easy part. Alright, so now we need the arms and the tail, and then we'll be done with the bind skeleton at least. That's nice. Gotta evenly space these out. There we go, now those are oriented. Cool. Easy enough. Gotta always be checking from multiple angles on this kind of thing because it's easy to be deceived by perspective. Like, you know, something can be, like, for example, this could be here, and from this angle, right, it looks spot on. Just look at it from that angle, you're like, yep, perfect. And then you move and you're like, oh, that's nowhere near close. Perspective is deceiving. Doubt we'll do much detailed animating of these claws, but it's good to have it if we need it. Alright. Rename all these, just so I don't get too confused. So this is going to be shoulder. Nice, nice. Normally I name finger bones by, like, you know, index, middle, ring. What are these? Which, I guess this would be the index. Guess it's just an index and a pinky. This seems like the kind of thing that we could have AI do for us, right? Naming all these joints. My guess is someone will find some way to make it look like it can do it. Just enough for a little tech demo. Just enough to make some clickbait. And then, you know, we'll all still be doing this. Should make a shelf for that, but that's a lot of work. Selected, aim, X, up Y, up Z, orient. There we go. We want everything kind of aligned with that plane of rotation that is natural. Yeah, nice. All right. Now, these. And these honestly don't even matter because, you know, they're at the end of the chain, but good to be thorough. Sweet. Alright, that's the arm. And it's all named properly. That wasn't so bad. Alright, where do I want to parent that? I guess just to the hip, right? Or the... what do they call that? Spine base? Yeah. Spine base. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Maybe it should actually be parented to spine A. Yeah, that's probably what we want. Yeah, because we want it to follow that. Don't want it to follow the head. That should work. Alright. Now, skeleton, mirror joint, mirror. That is the bind skeleton. I think we're done with the bind skeleton. Just the first step. Don't get too excited. Check this into source control. As next up, we will be making mistakes for sure. Just organizing my pending changes. I've got 100 files in here. You're not missing anything over on my other monitor, I promise. Just files. Rub, rig, bind skeleton. I'm gonna go ahead and submit that. Nice. Alright, check that right back out and let's keep going. Step 1, woo! Yeah. That is right. Step 1 is done. Alright, so let's see. What do I want to do next? So we've got... there's two things we could do next. We could either go ahead and start our control rig. So that's where... So basically, like our IK and FK switches and stuff, we start breaking these off and making separate rigs to drive this bind skeleton. Or I could go ahead and do a quick skin bind. Probably worth doing just a quick skin bind just so we can kind of see a little bit more feedback in the viewport. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. So select hierarchy, select this, skin, bind skin. So of course the problem with this is it'll be hard to test because we can't safely move these joints because there's no way to center them back. So if I move it, for example, and then 0, see, it doesn't go back to where it needs to be. And so that is where the whole control rig comes into play, is we can make controls that are parented to these, and then we can move the controls, and they can be easily recentered. So maybe I will actually do that first. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll just focus on simple control rig. Just keep it simple, and yeah, that sounds good. So, all right. We did some of this on the other stream while we were actually working on the guy. If you recall, we made these NURBS circles, and we would go through and parent them to the different bones. Yeah, all right. So this should be fun. Something that I do like to do, just because it makes rigs look so much cooler, is make custom control shapes. And I might just actually try to do that now. But let's see, making custom control shapes is kind of a pain. Let's see what's the best way to do this. Might actually be something like this. So you can, a good trick is you can use your geometry to make your control shapes. You can highlight, so you can highlight some edges and then run convert polygon edges to curve. Perfect. Yeah, now I've got this curve that like perfectly follows the contours of the grub's, you know, his body. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I think I'll use this as my shape to control that joint. And so you want it to be visible, you know, easily visible for your animators. And there's kind of like an art to this as well, because you kind of want it to be like obvious what it does just by looking at it, because, you know, otherwise you can end up with a whole bunch of like spheres stacked up, and that's confusing. Right, the problem with this is always the origin is always off. So yeah, watch this. If I basically, I'm gonna parent this, and then when I zero it, yeah, now my controls are all the way out here, and I gotta like bring them back. Kind of annoying. There's some like paid Maya plugins out there that kind of make this a lot better. I'm probably gonna buy one of those at some point because it'd be worth it. But I don't honestly do that much rigging, so you know, it's whatever. But now, oh, whoops. I parented that to this one, not that. But it should be parented to the other one. And this isn't necessary by any means. I just kind of like doing it. It'll look better on Harrison's stream when he's animating it if it's got nice control shapes. I can show you an example of what I mean. If I open one of my other rigs. Like the SMG. The SMG is a good one. So yeah, this has a special control rig. And you see how basically I made these custom shapes. So like the control for the magazine, you know, it's quite obvious that it's the magazine control because it's shaped like it. The control for the folding stock is quite obvious because it's shaped like the stock, etc. And then yeah, the main body control, the trigger control, you know, they're just little hints to give the animators, because this could just be all like concentric circles and be super confusing. And animating is tough enough. Oh, another important setting for riggers and animators is a setting for, here it is, line width. Turn that up. Especially when you're animating, it makes clicking on NURBS curves so much easier. Yeah, it is a kind of communication. It's like visual shape communication. It's like UI or UX design, really, you know, in a way. So we have our first control, and now we've done the hard work of like getting it centered up. So that's nice. So if we make another, we can duplicate it. There we go. And now it's so much closer. And so, yeah, I can unparent it now. And you can go into the control vertex mode. Again, set these filters, make your life easier. Now I can kind of like start sculpting and, you know, working on this thing to fit it at least a little better. Looks like it doesn't work with symmetry, no surprise there. Yeah, it's not like this needs to be done, but it's like, I don't know, it's just one of those things. It's like, you can show that you care. It shows you care about your animators. They'll appreciate it. What nice thing have you done for an animator today? Do something nice for an animator today. And you can test and make sure these are properly lined up by selecting it, unparenting it, looking at the handles, and then selecting the joint. And if that moves at all, you got trouble. You want these to be perfectly matched. Because if they're not, that's how you get dirt in the rig, which basically just means like the rig is kind of like affecting the neutral pose, and you don't really want that. So little details, it pays to be detail oriented. That's teamwork right there. I wish people at my job thought like that. Yeah, just everywhere. You know, if everyone would just kind of, you know, care a little more about the person coming after them, dealing with their mess. We're all leaving a mess for somebody. I'm gonna turn this line thickness back down, because it's like overpowering on the actual mesh. I wish they'd Maya feature request, make this a separate slider for NURBS lines and polylines. That would be great. That'd be so great. Does Autodesk care? It would be nice if Autodesk would help us out. Yeah, there's probably a better way to do this, or a little script or something I could maybe write or buy to just kind of make this a little less arduous, but if I end up doing it a lot more, then I probably will, but how many characters are we really going to have in this game anyway? It's an indie game, two-man team, you know. People shouldn't expect. We've already got the alien, we got the robot, we got the drone. Now we're gonna have this guy, and then we've got humanoid enemies, which will all be, you know, reskins of the same base skeleton. Hopefully people will be satisfied with that. At least for a demo, that should be enough for a demo. It's honestly probably too much for the demo. It's probably dumb to be spending time on this right now. But I don't know. Just kind of want to do it. Yeah, already pretty diverse. Yeah, I think that'll help a lot. It does. It just gets boring fighting the same thing over and over. Definitely helps to have more variety. We've been working on it for a long time. I made that alien model, oh my goodness, probably 4 years ago. And you know, it stayed as just a ZBrush sculpt for a really long time. You know, didn't even really show it to anyone. I did a 3D print of it for fun. That was about it. I should put that on my desk. I'm not sure where I even have it, but it's a pretty good little print. The big question now is, can I mirror these? And mirror these curves? I think I can. I think I've done it before. I just duplicated them, grouped them, scaled them by -1. Right, and I need to make sure I don't freeze anything but scale, but I need to freeze scale. Perfect, okay. Nice. Right, we got our custom controls for the mouth now. Yippee! Let's see. And yep, looks good. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, I know why that is. That's actually okay. It's okay if it's like exactly the opposite. Alright, so cool. Go ahead and start setting these up, and so this will pretty much be the full control rig for the head. I mean, all it has to do is open its mouth, so. That's good. to that. This to that. So then this is jaw left. Controls A, B, and C. This is right. All right, A, B, and C. Nice. All right, now, so if I hide those, you will see that these controls behave the same way as the joints. Let me make sure they're all... Oh no! Crap. That ruins everything. So these need to have the same behaviors, like that kind of mirrored behavior, the same way that the joints do. Yeah, darn it. Wonder if I can use that script on this. This thing looks like it would burp in game. Hey Wub, what's up? Glad to have you on the stream. We are working on rigging this guy. So yeah, we got the basic bind skeleton all mapped out. And we spent a lot of time and effort making sure that our bind skeleton has a proper proper rotation order. Just make sure this is still correct. Yeah, that's correct. Ignore the skinning. The skinning is just the automatic skinning. But see how the joints are moving? That's what we want. We want the joints to all move together. Oh, this is horrible. Horrifying. But so now I'm working on... But we can't actually animate on these joints because there are bind joints and they have non-zero transforms, which means we can't reset them. So we've got to create a rig to drive the joints for us, which does have zeroed transforms. And we are in the process of doing that. But it looks like we've made some mistakes. Oh wait, now that's right. Hang on, am I going crazy? That one's right. The top is right. Let's just ignore that for now. This one, let's try this one. This one looks right. Yeah, wait, this is right. Why was it melting down before? So maybe it's just a problem with the right jaw. That would make sense since I mirrored it. Well, that looks right too. Okay, hang on. Now I'm really confused. This'll be kind of like the ultimate test. Okay, that's good. So moving the Y handle negative opens it properly. Let me actually try this on the whole hierarchy. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it should do. That is exactly correct. Now this is exactly correct too? Guys, what is going on here? It's just when I move them all at the same time? Wait, okay, no, I get it. It's just this one is backwards. Right, because these aren't frozen, so... Okay, you know what might help with this, actually? Is if we just gotta do our little offset script thing. So let's ignore that one, because these seem to work right. So let's test on here. So... Group. Oh. This becomes a, like, Jenga tower of transforms very quickly. Okay, that's what I want. There must be a bug in that script. But, so this is the idea. Basically, we are pushing the transforms off of this onto its parent. So see, we've got those transforms here, and then the child can be 0. So then when I move it, we get clean data. This is the fun stuff, guys. Try this again. Group? Yeah, that's not working. It's working for translates, but not the rotates. Okay, whatever. We'll do it manually. So, this is what you do. Make an empty, parent it, 0, unparent it, select the control, then parent it. Now we're 0, so see, we just push the transforms onto this new parent. Makes sense. Then we can parent that there. And both of these maintain 0s on their transform. And that is what we need. So reset, unparent, parent. Clean transforms, then name it. Top, C, and I add a 0 to denote that it's an offset. Okay, boom, boom, boom. That is a proper control stack. There we go. So now see, now we can see clearly what's going on. We're adding positive Y rotation. So negative Y closes the mouth, positive Y opens the mouth. And if I do this and then deselect and do other stuff, clear my undo history or whatever, I can just select all these guys, set them to 0, and they go right back where they need to be. That's what we need. Wub, I'm doodling another scape out of boredom. A scape? What, like a landscape? Sounds cool. Are you a 2D artist? I've tried doing like some landscape painting and stuff like that, like concept art. And I can't do it. I have a lot of respect for 2D artists, like concept artists. Alright, here we go. Okay, so now it's all the same. It's all just the same exact thing. So see, before I parent it, we've got these values here, and they're the same because they were parented, basically snapped together, and then unparented. Then when I reparent it, our controller gets zeroed. So snap it there, unparent, parent. Now nothing has moved, we've just moved off those transforms onto another object. One more for the left. This is all supposed to be done by this script that I wrote, but it hasn't been working, so I'll have to revisit it sometime. Alright, now we can parent B to A, parent C to B, and now we have the same thing that we have for the top. We've got, so see, positive Y rotate opens, negative Y rotate closes, and that's what we need. Can't call it a landscape because there's no natural environment, nor can I call it a cityscape because while it may look industrial and urban, it's more of a Tron-ish setting. So I genuinely don't know what to call it. A digiscape? Yeah, maybe. Our first game was kind of Tron inspired. All kind of like bright neons. Neons and like, you were inside a computer was the gimmick. I love that kind of stuff. I went to this, I mentioned it before, I went to this really cool Lego expo, and there was this one in exhibit, I guess, where it was like really tall. It was like full, like it was like as tall as a person basically, and it was like a cityscape, but it was all black. So like all the bricks that they chose were black or transparent, and they had wired it all with LEDs. So it was like, and like the lights were like animated. So it looked just like Tron. It was really cool. Just all these like really, glossy black buildings with like glowing like neon, like LEDs going through it. I should have like taken a picture of it. It's probably on YouTube somewhere, but it was really cool. Oh, cool. Yeah, that was awesome. I loved when you shared that that one piece you did. That looked really neat. You just need somewhere to put it. Okay, yeah, we'll add a channel for that. I'll do that once I'm done streaming if I can remember. My brain is like shot, like most of the time. So I'm just like going so many directions at once. Skunk Ape Interactive is one of 2 businesses that I've started, so I keep pretty busy with both of those. And then I also teach part-time, and I've got my first baby, so life is very busy, which is good. That's how I like it. so you might just need to remind me to do things a few times. And then my brain is full of all these numbers, too. Okay, that's the problem. So this one has to go negative to rotate open, whereas these are all going positive. See? Yeah, so when I move them together, one opens and one closes, and that's not what we want. The freelance 2D artist grind. That's not easy. What I think I need to do, I think I need to offset this by 180 on the Z. Does this take expressions? No. Boy, that would be nice if it did. Okay, bust out the calculator. That's what we need to do. Yeah, okay. There we go. So now the numbers are right, but the handles are wrong. See, we made our life very difficult by trying to make Harrison's life a little easier. Adding these custom rig shapes can be pretty complicated, but there we go. Now it's adding up right. Now I just got to do that for the rest of these. YouTube, try not to screw up a stream buffer challenge. Impossible. Is the stream buffering? Might be my internet. Oh, you've got a game you're hyped for that's coming out? Is that one that you've shared in the server? This isn't gonna work. Symmetry when you're doing 3D modeling is great. It's like, perfect, half the work. Symmetry when you're rigging is like double the work. Oh, wait a minute. That'll work. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's give this a try. Hey, haha. Okay, so I just had to parent that whole structure under another offset on negative. That works. Game recommendation from Wub, Lorne's Lure, coming out 20th of September. Sounds cool. What kind of game is it? Is it like, what's it about? There's a band called Lorne that I used to listen to. It's pretty awesome. Like real like heavy ambient kind of stuff. All right, now that we have our proper control hierarchy here, which we can properly rotate and properly reset, we can check it into source control before we mess it up. You thought I was gonna tell you something helpful. Now for real. So now what we can do is we can use this to drive our bind skeleton, and we can do that with constraints, which is non-destructive. So, like all things rigging, it's just a little tedious. You select this, and then we go and select our corresponding bind joint, and add a parent constraint with maintain offset turned on. Now when I move this, it follows. Alright, so now we just repeat that. So that was A, this one is B, oh I didn't name it. And then that's the third one. Same thing for these. Left. Is that left? Oh, this is... My naming is horrible. I'll fix that. So we go to the right. Okay, now... wait, is this working? I think it's working. It's just... Yeah, okay, it's working. Our skinning is just not right. Alright. So it's a first-person climbing game set in a megastructure-based world. Oh, inspired by the manga Blame? That's cool. Okay, Blame had a movie, right? I watched the movie, and from what I heard, the movie was like just okay. Like it didn't really capture like how cool the manga was. The movie was actually pretty cool though. Like so yeah, that's been wanting to read that actually. So it looks pretty cool. That's where the like city is building itself. It's like a city like all built and run by AI. It's a cool premise. Just doing a really quick base pass on weight skinning. This is gonna look kind of crazy. There we go. It's more like a plant or something with that kind of action. We'll probably just use these. Something like that. If I want to get fancy, maybe I'll add a set-driven key. So that there can just be like literally just a variable that just drives the how open the mouth is. Yeah, so the Blame movie, so like I'd never read the manga or anything, so I didn't have any expectations. It was a pretty forgettable movie, unfortunately. Didn't help that it was like kind of weird CG anime. You know, kind of like the Berserk remake, which is so awful. But it's like, yeah, it was just kind of forgettable. But the environments were really cool, you know, obviously, because they had a lot to draw from. Yeah, I'm sure if you were a fan of the manga, it would have been disappointing for sure. Alright, I'm getting too into the weeds. It's not really time for skinning yet. I shouldn't be wasting time on this. Let's see. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I'll check out the manga someday for sure. Alright. Let's see. So next up, I think next up we probably have to worry about the switches for the legs. I guess I could do that last. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do FK control for the tail, because that's all we'll need for that. Yeah. Yeah, FK tail controls sound good. Borrow this control shape. Yeah, and I think I'll save the IKFK switching for like a separate stream. Overall, this is coming together quicker than I was expecting it to, so that's nice. Yeah, if you're ever wondering why we don't just have, like, you know, tons of characters, this is why. Rigging is just way too time consuming. And yeah, you guys have been along for this whole ride, pretty much. We started from nothing, just concept. Did our models, our high poly and low poly. Now we're doing our rigging. Soon it'll be done. We'll be done with that, and it'll be time to animate. But yeah, this guy has been coming together better than usual. It's all gone pretty smoothly. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Now that I said that, we'll hit some major snag. But yeah, making games is not easy. It is not fast. It's not always fun. This has been fun. But it's not always fun. Yeah, once again, I'm just rigging up these little control shapes. They're not necessary, but they make animating a little more intuitive for the animators. Which in our case is Harrison. Or myself. I do some of the animating too. It's not my, I wouldn't consider it to be my strong suit though. Alright, well, let's see, these are pretty easy, so... It's gotta do the same old thing. Little switcheroo. Right, got our zeroed transforms. Okay, so that's the top. This one goes under that. Then this one goes under that. Alright, that should be a perfectly adequate FK tail rig. We'll keep it simple where we can. I feel like I'm losing my voice. Hopefully I'm not coming down with something. Okay, so now it's the same thing as it was for the jaws. We've got to find our tail rig. There it is, tail A, B, and C, and we just parent these, parent constrain them. So constrain, parent, and maintain offset. I could probably turn it off because they should actually just snap right together, but no need. Okay, did that. There we go. All right. Oh no. Rotation order is not correct. It's not correct here either. Wait, how'd that? Oh, these are both. How'd that happen? Yeah, these are Z. These need to be Z forward. Ah, great. All right. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. This won't take that long. Selected. Aim axis Z. Is that right? Yeah. Oh. What is going on here? There we go. Somehow I had these in the wrong plane of rotation, which means these are in the wrong plane of rotation too. Alright. Not ideal. This one is right. I wonder why that one is right. This is the least important one to have right, too. Alright. It's one less thing I have to redo, at least. So, here we go. Delete that. Now that goes to that. This is much more typical for rigging. What did I say? I said it would, we'd run into some major problem, didn't I? Called it. It's not that major. We're almost done fixing it. Basically, I had my rotation orders incorrect on the tail, so, you know, that created unintuitiveness in the controls, which is definitely not what we want. So we just put everything back to being correct, and now I'm just, you know, adjusting the visual handles, just adjusting their little representation. These handles can be anywhere, right? They just have to look nice. But the transforms of their parent object are very important. For anybody just tuning in, we're working on our game, Captain McSpacebiff. We are rigging this little alien creature. These are little guys that grow up to be big, deadly sandworms. Almost done with our first pass on the rigging. We've been doing the whole creation of this guy from start to finish on stream, which is pretty neat. That's something that when I was trying to learn 3D modeling, I always wished I could find someone that would do like a full, like nothing to game ready, like full stream. You know, even if it was, you know, 100 hours long, I would have watched it. So that's what we're making. That's what we're making right now. And someday, if I can get the time, I'll edit it. Make it a little more watchable. But, this is it. This is real game dev. Alright, now this is correct. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, now we can go back to the joints and do those parent constraints. Now we need to reconnect the skin, and hopefully we didn't lose all of our weight painting that we did earlier, but we probably did. So see, now the bones are following, but the mesh isn't following the bones. Hey, it kept it! Yay! Hey, that made my day. Ah, haha! There we go. Now that's what I call animating. This is sweet. We can make all kinds of fun animations like this. Maya? All right. Cool, well that is fully functional mouth and tail rig. So yeah, nice. All we need after that is the legs and the arms, right? The legs will be the most complicated. The arms will probably be pretty simple though. Oh yeah, you're an old Flash animator? Whoa. That's yeah, that's old school. They don't even have Flash anymore. Dude, yeah, whatever happened, that reminds me of, I was just reading people commenting, like, whatever happened to screensavers? Like, why don't computers have screensavers anymore? You know, a lot of those were apparently built in Flash. But yeah, that's something that I really miss. I really miss screensavers, because it used to be like such a like artistic, you know, like you could like quite a form of expression, you know, the screensaver as art. And now it's just gone. Computers just turn off when you walk away from them. Oh wow, you have 6 to 7 years of Flash experience. Awesome. That's very cool. Did you transition to like After Effects or something like that? Kind of keep up the 2D animation? Go ahead and name these. Oh yeah, we don't need these tail joints being named jaw, do we? That's all I need. Yeah, and we don't need the right jaw being named left jaw, do we? That's even worse than not naming anything at all. Yeah, nobody do what I've been doing, which is just duplicating things without at least, like, deleting the names. Got right bones named left, I've got tailbones named jaw. I've got offset nodes named 1. Yeah, we don't need that. Alright, that's much better. Jaw left, jaw top. Heck yeah. Alright. And our bind skeleton, I'm pretty sure, is good. Tail. A, B, C. Yeah. Nice, nice. Yeah, don't we all? Yep, I know the feeling. Alrighty. Oh boy, can I do the arms? Oh, this is so monotonous. I'm burning out. Maybe we can just do them real quick. Real quick. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Silly little T-Rex arms. Almost not even worth rigging them. Yeah, this is a good reason to make these custom control shapes. You see how the joint is like embedded in here? And that's good, you want it embedded in there. But you don't want the handle embedded, because you want the handle to be easy to select, so it's helpful to do that. Your animators will thank you. You guys ought to be memorizing this process by now, seeing it done over and over. You'll all be 3D riggers by the end of this. Oh, you've got a lead artist position potential? That sounds cool. That's the dream, dude. You know, I'm the lead artist, but, you know, when it's your own company and your own game, nobody can say you're not, you know? Landing a lead artist gig at an existing studio is impressive. Search and replace names, very helpful. Search L, replace with R. Selected, boom. Wait. Oh, okay, hang on. It just replaced the L at the end of the word control. That's not what I want. Where'd it go? There it is. So, 2 underscores. There we go, that's what I... Now we've got our left and our right shoulder controls. Can anybody guess what we're gonna do next? Yep, you guessed it. Parent constrain to the bones. Some work going on outside. I don't know if y'all can... if my mic is picking that up or not. Apologies if it's loud. Alright. There we go, we got our basic arm controls now. Make him dance. Oh yeah, well very cool. So yeah, so you're looking at starting a game dev studio. There is nothing more fun, dude. It is really fun. it is difficult to be successful at, you know? We're still trying to figure it out, but we're getting there. Worst case scenario, it's fun, and you put it on your resume as you were the founder, you're an entrepreneur, you've got self-starter experience, that kind of thing. It's like worst case scenario, if it doesn't pan out, you just spin it to get a job somewhere else. That's what I did. I started in game dev, didn't really get anywhere with it, kind of spun it to get myself a job in an architecture firm. That was pretty good. That was my first success. Then from there, I was able to do some freelance. I still do some freelance simulation work, and now I'm getting back into the game dev because I just love it, and I really want to be doing it full time. So we're trying to make it happen. It's the dream. Right, I think all we need for this guy now is proper leg rigs. Yeah. This might be a good stopping point. Got a pretty good bit done despite the technical difficulties at the beginning. I'll do as long as I'm here. Make a new scene and reference this guy in. Just to kind of test things. So I'm working in a separate scene on a reference. Hey, I don't want cheap viewers. Get out of here with that. Sorry, that really kind of makes me mad, actually. But anyway, where was I? Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm testing my rigs. I'm testing the rig in a separate file so I don't have to worry about screwing anything up. And so I can just kind of make like a little pose. Obviously, we're pretty limited on the poses we can do because we don't have any, body controls yet. But this is just good for me to check because it kind of lets me know if this is going to work right. Anyway, yeah, I think this will work pretty well. Save this out. Test pose. Yeah, man, I'll make you a channel. I'll make a channel for anyone in the server to just post their art, maybe get feedback. Seem to have a lot of people that are kind of either already game devs or aspire to be game devs or stuff like that, so Yeah, that's cool. Alright, guys. Let's see, any questions? I think I'm gonna probably call it here. All we have left to do is the feet, which will be the toughest part. Probably a little less tedious than what I just did, so that'll be good. But yeah, any questions about this? That was kind of a whirlwind overview of rigging. I mean, nothing compared to like what, you know, industry people do in their rigs. Oh, what's up, MSim Cook? Yeah, no worries. I was just, we've been working on this rig. I got the whole mouth and tail working, and got the arms, basics for the arms working. And let's see, I made a little test pose. Little rah. Need to work on the skinning here. Something's weird with the upper lip. Yeah, it's crazy how much having the rig in place pushes it up a notch. Yeah, dude, it's like now it's coming to life. You know, we've been sitting here, you know, we've been looking at this thing as just a gray blob for, you know, for like 2 weeks now. And yeah, now it's like all of a sudden he's, you know, he's moving around. It's like, you know, our boy's alive. Let's go. What? That's weird. Oh, these controls like changed their shape. I've never seen that before. And the weird thing is it's still working fine. How'd that happen? That's weird. Let me go back to the main rig. Looks fine here. That's weird. I'm gonna go ahead and delete my non-deformer history. It's important to do non-deformer. Uh-oh. You know what? Maybe I'm not gonna do that. What's going on here? Reopen that. Yeah, don't save. Okay, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Alright, well thanks for hanging out, guys. As always, it's a blast. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think you all know what's going on. We're working on the game. We're making some progress. We're making some progress, kind of slowly kind of marching toward having a vertical slice demo. Pretty excited about that. I'm feeling good. I was kind of stuck for a bit, but I think we're finally moving again. So we're pushing toward that. Harrison is streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8. He's working on a level. The level is looking really cool. Thanks. Yeah, I like. I feel like it's been kind of like a game changer for our development too, because streaming like this, it's like it really forces you to stay on task. You know, whereas like working by myself, it's easy to get like, you know, distracted going down rabbit holes or, you know, checking your phone or whatever. But, you know, it's like you put on the lights, put on the camera, and, you know, we're making this thing. We're just making this thing and nothing else for 2 hours or so. So yeah, I've been having fun with it. Yeah, it's coming together. It doesn't always come together this well. We've been quite fortunate. We've been quite fortunate that we've had an easy project to do. Sometimes it's just like awful. But this has been fun. So yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there. So next stream, we'll work on the IK-FK switch for the legs. So So far, this is all FK, and you know, FK is what you need for this. You know, there's no need for an IK tail or anything like that. But for the feet, we'll want IK. So, gonna do some IK for the feet, and a switch. So that'll involve basically rigging the legs 3 times. Once for bind, once for IK, once for FK, and then we will, you know, we'll put them together with some Maya expressions and set-driven keys and stuff like that. Don't be suspicious of it, just roll with the punches. God is good even in video game dev. Amen. Amen, so true. He is very good, even in video game dev. But man, sometimes it's rough. Sometimes it's rough, but we'll see how this keeps playing out. Yeah, awesome, guys. All right, thanks for hanging, and we'll get back to it next Monday, I guess, if not sooner. But yeah, all right. See you later. Peace.